What is up, epic destination? So I just got off work, Kinsey just got off work, and we're getting ready to hit the road for our second destination of the year. So tomorrow, or actually today, we're on the road to our Airbnb, which is kind of like a middle spot for driving. But we're going to be going to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. We have a tour of the Capitol. I don't know how much we could show of that. We're going to the Museum of the Bible and doing a few things around D.C., so we'll bring you along for that. But Friday, we're going to be going to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg for the very first time. We're so excited. And it's going to be opening day for Big Bad Wolf, so I don't know how big bad the crowd's going to be. So we're going to see there, and can't wait to experience that for the first time, and just the park in general for the first time. And then Saturday, Sunday, and maybe Monday, we'll be going to Kings Dominion, Kings Island's sister park, and we're so excited to experience that again for the first time. So let's hit the road.
6 hours later.
Okay, so we see this stuff on Kevin Heimbuch's videos, but we're living a Kevin Heimbuch video. Check this out. So we came in, we got this code for an Airbnb. Oh my goodness, there's like fingerprints, but this is just the beginning, y'all. This is like a construction site. The listing on Airbnb said it was a remodeled apartment. It looks like the apartment's in the middle of being remodeled. There's clothes in the washer, and oh my gosh, it clearly looks like somebody was taking a bath. Oh my gosh. The best part's this, y'all. Check it out. I wonder where we're gonna sleep tonight. Probably can't see it, but oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. And the closet has some used linens, and I'm dumbfounded right now. Like, we messaged. By the way, it's 10:38 p.m. We messaged the host of the Airbnb, and I'm shook right now, y'all. Like, this is something I see in a Kevin Heimbuch video. This does not seem real. And on top of that, getting here was a problem too, because the roads, if you've been to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, and it's very hilly, imagine that times 10. I thought my life was in jeopardy with some of these roads, and y'all pray for us. By the time this video comes out, you'll know if we're dead or alive, because this video may or may not be, I don't know, but this is, I'm speechless. We've had some interesting Airbnbs before, including the one by Cedar Point. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother time. But I'm seriously speechless. I'm never speechless. This is crazy. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if we're gonna have a place to sleep tonight. And we have to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to Washington, D.C. I'm speechless. All right, y'all, it is almost 11, so we're going to be up in a few hours, but thankfully they made it right, and we're giving us another apartment. Hopefully it's not in a remodel stage either, so we'll find out. here in 4 minutes. Let's go. It can only go downhill from here.
I'll sleep on the couch.
We just arrived and yeah. Can't even close our windows. So yeah, this vacation is off to an interesting start. It is 11:21 at night. This week has been a crazy week for me. I've had little to no sleep. I pulled an early shift at work on Tuesday. I'm regretting it now, but hey, I got a nice afternoon. But this has been interesting. Yeah, we have a couch and a recliner to sleep on.
We have no clean bedding or towels.
We don't. So we're going to be stinky when we get to our nation's capital tomorrow. Tired as can be. And we get to go to the Museum of the Bible and hopefully be cleaned by the word. Praise Jesus. I feel like I'm in a Kevin Heimbuck video. Like, y'all, I'm tired. I'm fed up. We'll see how this goes. Again, it can only go down from here, right? Well, we survived the night. It was interesting, probably one of the most uncomfortable stays I've had at an Airbnb or a hotel. This was my bed, the recliner. Yeah. I think I got 3 hours of sleep, but it is what it is. But we are off to DC. Sadly, we had to cancel our Capitol tour, but we're off to the Museum of the Bible and whatever we come across. So let's roll. After some crazy events trying to get a parking spot, we are on our way to the Museum of the Bible. On our way to the Museum of the Bible, we see the Capitol, which sadly we could not go to today, but someday we'll have to come back. But we're going to the Museum of the Bible for now. The good old Department of Education. Yeah. So we got a little confused. We were actually heading towards the Smithsonian, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be passing the Capitol too. But it's so neat seeing all this stuff again for me. First time for Kinsey. So hopefully one day we'll get to do everything, but we're limited to one day and we're going to make the most of it. So now on to the actual Museum of the Bible and Smithsonian Museum of the Bible. There it is. Museum of the Bible. This is so cool seeing it in person. The last time I was in DC, they were building this. So it's neat to see the final product and decide to experience it here in just a bit. Just went through security and this is so cool. I'm excited to see everything the museum has to offer. One of the cool things here at the Museum of the Bible is you can see the Capitol from the 5th or 6th floor, actually. It's pretty neat that it's in the heart of Washington, D.C. And our first exhibit of the day is The People of the Land, History, Archaeology, and Ancient Israel. So we're gonna head on into the Megado Mosaic Foundation of Faith. It's pretty cool. Hummus and fries. I have the fatted calf and fries, or a bacon cheeseburger. It looks good. We just finished lunch. Excuse me. Now we are off to check out the 4th floor and some of the exhibits here. These are some more of the miscellaneous ones, so they're not really connected other than the Bible, but we're excited to see what it has in store. Now we're going to head into the history of the Bible and how we got the Bible. So we just finished the 4th floor, which is the history of the Bible. It's so neat to see how we got our versions and translations of today and just the process that it took to get it in our hands and even on our phones. Something we shouldn't take for granted, because in the very last room they had an exhibit showing the translations or the languages that do not have a copy of God's Word. Now we're going to enter the Jerusalem experience. So we'll be walking through the Bible itself. So the history of the Bible section was amazing, and it went through the life of Jesus, both New and Old Testament. What were your thoughts on it?
Of the videos?
The walkthroughs, yeah.
Yeah, those were really cool. I loved the Old Testament one. It was like you watched the video and then it like opened up into another room and it just kind of kept going. And then the New Testament one was just like It was mainly just a video, but it was really, really good. It's about the road to Emmaus. I loved it.
Yeah, and it almost was like a Answers in Genesis type exhibit. Really neat. And I think this floor here is how the Bible has influenced America. So we'll check it out. Now we're off to check out the C.S. Lewis exhibit, hearing how the Bible inspired his writings. We just left the Museum of the Bible. Well, actually, we just left Starbucks, but we are on our way to the White House. So this is Kinsey's first time seeing it in person, so I'm excited to see her thoughts on it, and her experiencing it will be really neat too. But we're gonna see a few monuments along the way as well. finally heading to the White House. And this is Kinsey's first time seeing it. So this will be pretty cool to see her reaction. I remember seeing it 12, 13 years ago. And it is so cool seeing it in person compared to pictures and videos and things like that. Such a neat experience. There it is. There's the Rose Garden.
I know of this person. This is exciting. It's like you said, it's like you see it in pictures and movies and stuff, but to actually see it in person, it's like, it doesn't even feel real.
And there it is. So we just left the White House. They were starting to close up in front of the gate to look at the front garden yard area. What were your thoughts on your first visit to the White House?
It was amazing. We literally got to go right up to that front gate and we got a picture, and then they're like, everybody get back, you gotta get back, like you can't be over here. And they like blocked the whole area off, so everyone was having to take their pictures from far away, but we were able to get one like really close up. So that was really cool, and it was just beautiful. Like, it was so peaceful, and I just wanted to stay there. Stay there and watch because it was so pretty. I loved it.
For sure, and it's always good seeing it and seeing it in good hands. And now, like any good tourist, we're going to the White House gift shop. Yeah. And I forgot to show you all. We stopped by the Washington Memorial. So awesome, especially this time of night. The sun's going down, it just looks beautiful. And from the Washington Memorial, we're making our way over to the Lincoln Memorial, one of my favorites. I also love the Smithsonian's, but that's for another trip. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Oh no. We have finally made it over to the National Mall. It's gonna be neat to see it. The last time my family was here, it was interesting to say the least. We'll go ahead and check out National Mall. We're here at the World War II Memorial, and it is such a beautiful memorial paying tribute to those who paid the ultimate price for our freedom here in America. And all 50 states are represented in this little area, so it's pretty neat to see that. Now we are off to the Lincoln Memorial. Nice to see it. It's the DC Ducks. Good thing it's not the geese that get honked off at you in Ohio. Well, folks, I think that'll do it for DC. It was a great day, minus the rain. Had a great time visiting the museum, the Bible, and all the great monuments of our country, and even the White House. For tomorrow, we'll be heading to Williamsburg. for Busch Gardens and can't wait. We'll see you all then.